Hey.
Hey, the gang's all here.
My sound sounds crazy. Again.
I don't know what's wrong with your sound.
I don't know why. You can hear me clearly, right?
I can hear you clearly.
See, but you guys are it sound like it's so weird. I don't know.
I sound muffled.
Same way too. You too. But it'll clear
I'm
up.
saying that we sound like we got cancer throats. Like
yeah, it's like you guys got the little cancer
from
throat.
the PJs. Remember the nigga from the PJs when this fucking
Oh, that shit is weird. God damn.
So peace, nigga.
Peace. What's popping and cracking, gentlemen?
We're gonna give you a little solo cam, and when we give solo cam, we go like ready.
Oh, hey everybody.
That's the Digga beauty cam right there.
Oh,
We lost the boy again. He'll be back. Yeah, that's the Digga beauty sound right there. We got you a sound, Digga.
Okay. I'm rolling.
What's good? How you been?
I've been good, man. Can't complain. Just, getting ready for the, food day. Because we don't call it Thanksgiving, right?
Right.
It's the day we
Native American Day, maybe.
We just cook a massive amount of food and eat
Native American Appreciation get together with your family day, but many of you are scared, so you're probably not going to go beyond 6 people day.
Well, my family's small anyway, so
yeah,
I would house hop, but I'm not in my respective hood, so I'll be in the house.
Right. I mean, I'm wondering, and people in the chat and all of that, I'd like to see what y'all are doing, but are y'all having a so-called Thanksgiving, whatever that means to you? Are you having the same amount of people at your rest that you usually would have? Or are you like feeling like, oh, let's all stay safe? And I think you should stay in your respective domicile this year, and I'll stay in mine. I'm just wondering.
Still, I got that weird sound again.
Damn you.
And for the people that do feel that way,
there it is.
That is their right, Jamar.
Sure it is. Uh-huh.
What are y'all talking about?
Uh-huh, Mrs. Advocate. I understand it is. I know we was talking about, a lot of people are not necessarily, are they going to go ahead and have a regular Thanksgiving? Because they're like basically banning Thanksgiving. Now, I'm not here hold up. I'm not here as some sort of Thanksgiving advocate. Like, oh, first of all, yeah, I know the whole bullshit behind it. I'm just talking about coming together on some family shit when they set aside that time. Now, there's a lot of people that's not doing it because they feel like they're being safe by not doing it. They feel like, this is a time when, you should stay in your place and I should stay in mine. And even though we're family, we should make sure that we don't contaminate each other. So
there's also a lot of people not doing it because half their family is dead.
Oh, stop it, Digga. Stop with the melodramatic.
I mean, it's not melodramatic. It's a fact. You believe what you want to believe. That's a fact, though. There's people that like half of their family is dead from the last Thanksgiving.
No, you're making shit up now, and I don't want to hear stuff like that.
I'm not making stuff up.
Nobody lost half their family. Like, stop it.
Nobody. They lying.
Lost unless their family was one one person in their family.
Don't get mad at me. It is what it is.
Goodness gracious, the melodramatics to try to sell this shit is fucking ridiculous. I'm just wondering, are people fucking gonna come together or not? That's all I want to know.
Well, I mean, there's a lot
of really
reasons.
Scared because they're saying you can't even go past 6 people, bro. Like they're talking like if you got more than 6 people in your crib, like that's dangerous, and I'm just wondering, how many people are going to go for that? People in the comment.
Well, I think people are going to do what they want. So
you might be right, Jamar. There are people that didn't lose half their family. There's some people actually lost their whole family.
Right,
I
and
mean,
if the whole
it's not
family was
funny,
one
but it's
person,
funny
I
because she's like,
understand.
but here's
Ain't nobody lose.
well,
Goddamn,
what
10
Digga's
people in
right.
the family and all
Also,
this
it's not
type of
like she's
shit.
not right. It's true. A lot of people have lost their family, but I
They
think
lose
a lot
half
of
their
people are
family.
protesting the fucking holiday because people are waking up and knowing that these was white supremacist bullshit. Motherfuckers are tired, man. We ain't celebrate, but we have been conditioned to make out time to visit our families. But as long as we recognize that this is Native American Indigenous People Day and not some fucking,
Yes.
you know, that's all. That's all. Because the, you know, people are going to spend their time because we've been doing this holiday shit for so long.
Right. Well, I just like the fact that, you know, we can come together.
Let me stop messing with Jamar. We ain't even 5 minutes in. I got his pressure up, y'all.
This is anti.
It's just this fucking family. All right, baby.
Yo, that shit was funny as hell.
Oh, melodramatic queen. But anyway,
That shit was funny as hell.
nah, it's just
That was hilarious.
it's just a wonder on my mind. But hang on, we had a request, Digger.
What's that?
People want to know what today's math is.
All right.
What's the date?
It is the 20th. What time? What's the date today?
The 23rd.
Is it? Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's
Today's math for November 23rd is wisdom, understanding, all being born to power refinement.
Oh, Digger still knows. Digger knows.
Of course.
Digger knows. Digger knows. That's right. Wisdom, understanding, all being born to power refinement. Use your wise words to instill understanding in others, in their minds, so that they are able to speak their truth, their power, and refine the minds of those that they come in contact with. Peace.
I gotta memorize this. I don't know it. I know it and I don't know it at all.
We'll easily sit you down and give you it's very basic. Each number has a meaning, you know.
Yeah, I always knew it, and you know, when you guys was rhyming it, I knew it from the 5%ers I knew, but I didn't memorize. You know what I mean? It wasn't in my doctrine like that. Well, but I would just listen.
It'd be helpful if once you understand what those numbers mean, it's helpful in everyday life, and you see how everything is mathematics, and there's a certain
doubt, of course,
there's a certain beauty in mathematics, when you truly understand it.
Definitely, you know. And without math, nothing. We wouldn't be sitting in these buildings.
It could look like she's like trying to get her money's worth on her makeup. Like, did y'all see my eyeshadow?
Oh no!
Yeah, her eyes are closed down.
No. I'm sorry. I'm actually looking down at my phone, seeing if there's any. You know how like we'll be recording, and then as soon as we get off, like, yo, did you see such and such?
Yeah.
I'm just checking to see if there's any like current right now news going on that we should address.
What the news? News.
I mean, there's so much stuff that happened without even looking at today's trending topics. First of all, did you guys watch the verses with Gucci and Jeezy?
Yeah, I saw some of it. I saw about an hour of it.
That was pretty tense.
It was very tense.
I give credit to Gucci man for actually showing up.
But real quick, just music wise, who won? Because I say Jeezy. Who you got?
Music wise, I think from the commercial perspective and just overall hits, I'm gonna go with Jeezy. But if you ask anyone from the streets of ATL, they're calling it Gucci.
Yes, that I agree with both of y'all, and I think that Gucci man is more of I think he has to add to his character for showing up, because Jeezy put a hit out on Gucci. And the fact that he showed up and squashed it, I think that was dope. I mean, it was intense.
He started out the first of all, he started out the verses with a diss track. Somewhere
from the very first.
Oh yeah, somewhere mid battle, he pretty much was. I think that was like his reconciling the situation. Like, you know what, I'm gonna do all of these subs. I'm gonna vent. I'm gonna get all my shit off. At some point, he actually even taunted Jeezy with when he said smoking on Pookie Loke. That's like a
dude
that
who got killed.
Right.
And another one. He said it's an easy kill. He said, you give me a free kill. That's what he said.
Well, you sent the guy to kill him, and he got
I feel like for the betterment of man, Jeezy just took it on the chin because it was like, okay, I'm gonna let Gucci get this off. I guess Gucci felt like he needed some, to get some shit off his chest. And
you were trying to kill him.
And in the end, they came together. I thought it was great for the cult. For one, I thought it was great for the culture.
Yes.
But more importantly, I hope that it shows other artists that are beefing with each other that, the goal is to grow old. Like you don't work this hard and make a way for yourself and provide for your family and get out of the the shit that you were born into just to get killed or to die. So I think it just showed people that, hey, if we can just make it to the other side, we'd be it's doable. That's doable.
All I cared about was the fact that they met up in squash.
Yes.
Well, listen, fashion wise, Gucci whooped his ass.
Gucci was killing it.
Gucci was clean as a motherfucker.
Gucci, and I think Gucci on a hand-to-hand basis, Gucci would probably whoop Jeezy's ass though, personally.
Gucci is in shape. Gucci
will give him here's the thing that bothers me about Jeezy. I mean, I don't know Jeezy. I never really liked the guy. He bothers me because I'm tired of his thinking he's handsome when he takes his pictures with his Asian girlfriend or whatever. Those photos annoy me. I don't know why.
Everybody got jokes for Jeannie Mai.
Yeah.
Oh, they're corn. I think it's corny. I don't know why. It just looks fake. I don't know why. I might be wrong, but it looks fake.
That's what interracial dating looks like.
No, I'm just saying.
Looks corny and fake. I'm just saying. I
think that the majority of interracial dating is a bunch of bullshit. There are some, of course, that have real love, but most of it is agenda bullshit, trying to prove something. A lot of it is self-hatred. A lot of it is spiteful shit. I know a lot of women that have gotten into interracial shit because they're mad at black men, and vice versa. Brothers who started it first would be like, man, fuck black women. I'm gonna get with these white girls. Really? Because 2 girls made you mad? Fuck out of here. But then a lot of times people will get. That's why I side-eye Kamala Harris. I'm hoping she doesn't let her being with a white man ruin the purpose of, I hope she doesn't see black men as, you know what I mean? Because on paper,
she does.
Kamala Harris is as black as you can get. But her choice of man, it might affect how she feels about black males in society.
Thank you, PMB. PMB said Gucci for the culture, Jeezy for the clubs.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I think that was over.
I personally, I just feel Gucci's music more. Like, to me, he's just a better MC. Like to me, Gucci rhymes very simplistically. You know what I mean? Like,
I think Jeezy's a lot more lyrical than people give him credit for.
I think you got to be from Atlanta and that whole aesthetic to really understand Gucci fully. Like, we wasn't really, if we keep it real, we wasn't playing Gucci up here like that because we didn't necessarily know about him like that. But we knew about Jeezy because he was on Def Jam and he was fucking with Jay-Z and all of this type of shit. So I think we were more aware of Jeezy.
Well, like Digga said, it was more commercial. He's more commercial. He was around a lot.
As far as familiarity and like reach, like I think more of Jeezy's music probably impacted us in the tri-state more than Gucci stuff. But I mean, personally, like just listening with my MC ear, I think Jeezy is way more lyrical than he even considers himself.
Right.
And no, it was dope. I definitely enjoyed it. Like, to me, that's how I like my verses. It's like I like that tension. I was
gonna say the air of tension.
Yeah,
added something to it because not to cut you off, but
No, you didn't.
Sometimes these verses get a little too friendly, don't they?
Too friendly and yeah.
Like hip hop started as a battle, like put that bar diddy bar bullshit on hold, like when Kumo D came at Busy B, that first real battle that niggas remember, like that was tension. When that tape went around, that was nothing but tension. That's what people loved about it, but it wasn't tension to the point where they was gonna hurt each other and all that, but it was tension. It was hip hop tension, and that's part of battling somebody. And I think when they doing all this, like, oh, let's make it a love fest, it kind of turns the battle. It just morphs the it decontextualizes the battle. That's
Raw Digger versus Antoinette, or Raw Digger versus MC Light.
Oh,
shit.
I don't know if Antoinette got enough records, and I love Antoinette.
I love Antoinette.
I don't know if she got enough records that people would know. You know what I mean?
Someone said, "Stop! It's too late for Kamala."
Right. Thank you, E-Notes. Got it out.
Kamala's she falling in the hole.
You saw she used to date
Montel Williams.
Yeah. Well, that was weird.
I used to imitate that. They go, "Look, we're gonna go to a commercial, and we're gonna go to a commercial, and I'm gonna make sure you get therapy, and I'm gonna make sure, because a lot of times people don't understand. I was in the Marines for a long time. I used to do his, when I opened up for Donna Summer at Jones Beach.
Before it was cool.
Yeah, I opened up for Donna Summer, right? And and it was 10,000 people at Jones Beach. And backstage, I was hanging out with Montel Williams. It was so random.
Okay, time out. I'm seeing these comments. Moni Love, Light, Antoinette. First of all, let's bring me back to my peer group, which is like Kim and Foxy and Eve and Shauna. Like, can we bring me back to my era? I did not rap in the I wasn't in the 80s, guys.
I'm seeing at least 3 of my mods in here. Shout out Reality, American Negro, Christy O. So yeah, I shouldn't see no bullshit in the chat tonight.
Oh, do you guys get trolls?
Oh yeah, but that's part of that's when you're doing well. That's when you're blowing up. When the trolls show up just because.
I'm looking at the comments. Somebody put Digger versus Melly Mel. See, I'm gonna fuck y'all up.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, yes.
Stop looking at the phone.
I know I gotta stop looking at my phone. I'm like, can we bring me back to 2000?
Comments off.
Can we bring me back to 2000 when my album came out? What we gonna do is get me out of the 80s when I was in like elementary school. Thank you.
Tila Rock versus Raw Digger.
You know what? Go ahead. I'm gonna let you see the comments on the screen. Oh shit.
Yeah, I do be wanting to see the comments, because sometimes the comments give us insight and perspective.
Yeah, show us the comments, Lord Jamar. Come on, show us that shit.
Can't take the comments.
What?
Oh,
some of the guests sometimes it's uncomfortable.
But we're not. But there's 3 of us.
I can take the comments.
But we got our guest coming in right now. But she just got her hair done. Y'all don't even understand. Like, I seen her just a little while ago in the pre.
Oh, who you talking about?
Our guest, Kim.
Oh.
Was she looking bummy at first?
Let's just say she was in the beginning stages.
She was in. No, what we ladies call that is she was in transition.
Right, but she was such a trooper that she was like, nope. I said 9 o'clock. It's gonna be 9 o'clock. And I don't care if I'm getting my hair braided right now. I said, listen, we're not even going to do you like that. It's not serious. It's not
mine fresh. Mine fresh.
Yeah, look at you. So anyway.
Bed-Stuy, baby.
She's just getting her stuff finished right now. She's getting the finishing touches done. I see her getting the ends brushed, but she's basically done right now. So I think we're going to bring our guest on. If y'all ready.
She like, shit, I woke up like this. I woke up like this.
I want to see comments.
The comments are on.
They're on.
Where it says
you gotta slide over from private chat the comments.
You see where on the right where it says comments?
Oh, thank you, Chris Douglas.
Oh, wow.
Like I'm in my early
It's the Nigerians stay fresh.
Niger.
Oh shit, Rita Marides.
Thank you, Rita. Gracias,
Oh,
mamacita. Gracias, mamacita. Wepa, wepa.
all right, listen. We're about to bring our guest in. As I said, she's a journalist, writer, author, TV producer, TV personality, TV showrunner, Bronx native.
All right.
Gotta bring this down, son.
And I believe a Puerto Riqueño. We're gonna find that out. Ladies and gentlemen, we just lost Digga, but she'll be right back. In the meantime, in between time, thank you, Slow.
I'm Deontay Wilder. To this day. To this day. To this day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Yanadameen Godcast. Kim Osorio. Hang on, let me give you the. You got to get the applause.
Wow.
Thank you.
I just got this machine. It's kind of new, so I don't have the muscle memory yet of just
to hit it on cue.
Yeah, and just to be ready like that. But
Hey, sugar.
Hey, Digga.
How are you? I don't know. My internet just did something real weird. I apologize. I'm back. Hey, baby. Long time no see.
I know. It's good to see you.
You too, mama.
Yes.
Oh, look at this.
Ask how I looked 20 minutes ago.
Should I tell the truth?
It happens.
If I looked a hot mess 20 minutes ago.
If there was like a female,
what is wrong with the sound?
Latin version of buckwheat, I think that's what I got privy to a little while
ago. I was ready at 9 o'clock, right?
He was ready.
I don't care. Let's go. I'll do it like this.
He had, her hair was in confusion. Someone's going.
Kim, have I ever met you, Kim?
That way?
No, I follow you on Instagram, so I think that means we know each other.
Yeah, you seem so familiar. I don't know. Maybe it's a New York thing, but I'm like, have I met her before?
I probably liked your videos, and nowadays that's
my Trump video right now has gone super viral. Like my newest one is Trump. It went really. I got to the shade room. Okay.
Oh wow.
Made it.
Oh,
again.
Right.
I got to the shade room again when my Trump was perfect. It was great.
Nothing was wrong with you.
No, you and
the Lord Jamar Trump.
Hey, if I keep hanging around you, I'm gonna have some fucking have some characters under my belt.
Get some characters like you. You're pretty good, Lord Jamar, but I think not really. You're almost close. You're very close.
Hey,
that's a good Trump.
Thank you very much.
Black Italians, though. Me and you, we got to do the Black Italians.
Oh, we always do the Italians. I'm from Sicilian. Look at my dark skin. Very dark.
Hey, Jamar, tell mans to get the fuck out the White House. His reign is over. Why he don't want to leave?
Ain't my mans.
Tell mans to leave.
He got till January.
Why he don't want to leave? He's not even opening the door for the transition team. They like knocking on the door, like nobody's home.
Kim, what do you think about what's going on right now? Just everything in the world that's transpiring, this whole election, this whole state of affairs. When you first came on, you also had the mask on.
I did.
You had the mask on and your hair was going this way and that way. And I was like, who is this?
Yeah. And you said take the mask off, right?
Like, she was like, should I do it like this? I was like, damn, so your hair's not gonna be done and they're not gonna see your face? Like, I'll wait. Yeah. Don't do us like that. Don't do us like that. Nah, I see you.
You're making me suffocate. You're making me suffocate.
Yeah, you got it all purdied up, and now you're gonna put the mask on. Don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, what do you think about what's going on right now in the world? Just in general.
I just think we're in a very interesting time. It's a changing time, and I feel like I have beliefs, So we all
have beliefs. You can state them. We're not going to persecute.
I believe in the universe and all of that stuff.
Okay.
So I think that we all had to take a break and re-examine ourselves. Obviously, you know, what's going on is it's just, well, for one, it's very sad. You know, I feel like it was a really intense year, and I'm hoping that 2021, you know, we have a lot to look forward to. So I am hopeful that things are getting better, but I just feel like we were all forced to stop and look at ourselves and look at what was going on in the world. And I know it definitely changed me. It was life-changing for me, actually. Just to watch what was going around, just to be home. Like, I haven't sat down in years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been on the go for the past, I don't know how many years. And when, you know, we went into quarantine, I was home. And I started doing that. I looked at my house. I was like, you know, you ain't cleaned this garage in 10 years. 10 years. I found stuff in the garage I couldn't believe. So, you know, like, and this is me. And this is something that I felt like I was blessed because I was able to sit at home and be okay. And my kids were okay. And I was healthy. And, you know, my kids were healthy. So I felt blessed in it. But I did know a lot of people who lost people. I know people, you know, that were on the front lines during all of the protests. And so it was just a really, you know, life-changing thing, I think, for a lot of us.
Okay, now listen, I am very entrenched now with what's going on with your hair.
Oh,
I saw some sort of pot come behind you. She dipped your hair into some yeah. What the hell is going on right now?
That molds the braid hair.
You see?
She's using a tea kettle.
I don't know about. She just dipped your shit with it looked like a coffee thing.
Yeah, she's dipping like, hands. Yes,
it's
yes.
water.
Is that hot or something? Is that what's going on there? What is the purpose?
It's burning hot. Yes, it's hot. But I'm gonna tell you a secret.
Like that, a salarm or something like that. What's going on?
I know you thought it was all my hair, but it's not. Oh, you didn't.
What? What? You can wear weave too?
I'm answering you the question. I answered the question. I said it molds the braid hair.
I don't know what that means, Digger. And we're gonna, you know.
Okay. You know, because you want it to look thicker. So when you braid it, like
I mean, I'm just trying to put them on the game, but
so you can put on your hair.
Well, see, I didn't mold mine. See,
put on your hair too.
I leave my ends fuzzy.
Oh, so that's if you want like really straight. Like,
yeah, if you want the
little swoop, the curl.
Looking super sharp right now, Kim.
You know, I've been traveling a lot, and
super sharp.
Yeah, I just
girl might get some work off of this episode.
Listen, Selena.
Huh?
Selena is definitely.
Selena, we're gonna have to put your.
She corrected me. She said "lavish by Lena."
Lavish by Lena.
Men are so cute and cool. God bless y'all.
Oh, it's Selena. Yeah, but you know, and this is more like this is. I generally don't get my braids done at home. When I do get them, I don't get them a lot. But it's like a house call because COVID. Look, he put it up there.
Lavish by Lena.
Hey, done.
Everybody got to eat.
Lavish by Lena. There you go.
There you go. There you go. Everybody got to eat.
She in the Bronx, right?
Jersey. I'm in Jersey now.
All right.
Go Jersey. Go Jersey.
Mm-hmm. I've been here for a good 20 years.
Mm-hmm. After you got that good bread from those people. Huh? Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, I'd move to Jersey too if you know.
Actually, I moved to Jersey before I got that.
Okay.
Yeah, we were actually, you know, we had our murder mommy movement. Shouts out to Elvia, Lady L.
Shout out to Lady L. Yep.
Do you remember our picture we took? I forgot where we were, but it was like it was the cutest murder mommy pic. It was like, I don't know. I felt like it was like the Boricua conglomerate, and I was like their black friend.
Well, look, you know, my background is very mixed.
Let's get into your background, shall we?
Like my ethnic background, I love talking about it because everybody always says, "Oh my God, that's like I didn't know that."
Well, because I called you Puerto Riqueño like numerous times, and I said, and I'm not even sure. I'm just assumed because you're from the Bronx, but shit, I'm born in the Bronx. I'm not Puerto Rican.
You sure did assume just because I was from the Bronx.
Right. And sometimes when you assume, you make an ass.
Well, her last name Osorio too. That kind of
Osorio. That could make me, you know.
Osorio.
My father is Puerto Rican. My father's full Puerto Rican.
There you go.
From East Harlem.
There you go.
But my mother is actually half Black, half Chinese. So so the thing is, a lot of people assume that I speak Spanish all the time and they just talk to me in Spanish. But because I was raised by my mother, I don't speak fluent Spanish. So most of my friends speak Spanish.
You speak ghetto Mandarin.
I speak Bronx because
I speak Bronx.
Fuck out of here.
What part of the Bronx did you grow up?
I'm from Castle Hill.
Nice. Castle Hill.
Castle Hill.
Godfrey, what you know about Castle Hill?
Right. Just Ice, going way back.
You know how proud I was? I lived down the block from that little cameo that he had in that video.
Yeah.
The Castle Hill. I lived literally a block from there.
Yeah, so I learned about that because I'm from Chicago. So when I was listening to hip hop, Just Ice was like from Castle Hill, and we knew the rhymes. But then when I moved to New York, I've been in New York 20 years. I go, oh, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah.
That's what he was talking about.
Hill was ill.
Yeah, so now I know, I understand. But in Chicago, I was just like, wherever Castle Hill is, it rhymes.
Yes, I'm from Castle Hill.
That's dope. That's dope.
So how did a little Puerto Rican Black Chinese girl from Castle Hill, get into writing? Like, what started to interest you in being a writer and saying that's something that I can do as a living? Like, I guess I can ask you the same question I would ask a rapper. What made you go from being a fan to a participant?
I fell into it. I fell into writing because I think when I grew up, I didn't really know. Thank you so much. I didn't really know.
Thank you, Nina.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Great job.
Yeah, I think I didn't really know that I could make a career out of this, right? So I came up. I just grew up in the Bronx. I was like really immersed in the culture of hip hop, and like I watched Video Music Box every day at 3:30.
We all did.
Right, on Channel 31. So like I was really into the culture. I had turntables. I wanted to be a DJ at a certain point. And while I was in college, I saw an internship ad for BMG Distribution. So I went to different labels and I tried my hand at like all of these different things. But writing was something I always did, and I had a background in it. I had a passion for it. Coming up where I grew up, it was like you're gonna go to law school or you're gonna be a doctor. Like there was no, oh, this is a creative career that you can have. Like I didn't have any role models like that to know that was an actual career, writing. So I just fell into it. I started working at these different labels, interning, finding out what the different departments did. And eventually I landed a job at a music software company where I started to review music. And I started to shop my stuff around. And then just being from New York, I went out every week. You remember. All you guys remember.
Yeah.
I went out every week. I just started to meet people. And I was like, I want to write for the Source at some point, like that was the pinnacle. So even like I went to law school because I thought even as I was writing, I was like, I can't really make a career out of this. This is a hobby. This is fun. But then upon, getting out of law school, I never practiced. So it's been working. I've been riding the wave since the 90s and I'm cool and I'm good. And who knows, maybe I'll have to go practice one day, but
thank you.
Now I'm good.
Thank you, Papi Didas. Papi Didas said, what's the difference between Spanish and Latina and Hispanic? And Just Ice was nice. I bought that LP. Thank you, Kim.
I don't know the difference between those terms because all of those terms,
Spanish is a language. Let's rule out Spanish.
Well, no, if you're from Spain, you're Spanish.
You're Spanish, that's right.
If you're from Spain, you're Spanish. So even though it's a language, like there are people from Spain or from Spanish. You know, I always identify as Puerto Rican, but when people call me Latin, I'm always a little weirded out by it because I'm like, I'm not from Latin America. You know, and I think it's a term that groups a number of different cultures in, and it's not even identifying with the right region that you're from. So I think all those terms are a little off, actually. And I don't want to be defined by a racial term, especially coming from, you know, I'm more hip hop than anything. I'm like, I can't identify like with certain cultures all the time. Like I used to go to my grandmother's house and she would cook rice and beans. Okay. And then, you know, I would be with my other family and it was a whole different ball game. Like my grandmother was from North Carolina, you know? So I don't know. Like, I feel like those terms are very limiting. And I've always had a problem with this, especially the you know, I can say that I represent the Latin community because I'm a proud Puerto Rican, but I do have, and I know what people understand that term to mean, but I do have a problem with the term. I think it's very misinformed. I mean, is Puerto Rico, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, is Puerto Rico in Latin America?
No.
Oh.
See,
No.
I identify.
In the Caribbean.
I identify the, you know, Latina with the, you know, what you say with the Latin America, like Spain, Spaniards. To me, Hispanic encompasses the Puerto Rican, but I think people don't realize that, you know, there's facets of it. Like, you know, people will confuse Dominican with Puerto Rican, or like, you know, I think they kind of just put it all in a pot. And
I think being from New York, it's very different, right? When I'm home in New York, people are just, they're cool with what I am. They don't ask me what I am.
Right.
You know, when I go to the Midwest, or, you know, did I leave the show?
No. I just want you.
No, you're there. Just solo on you.
But it will be producing. Just let me produce. I'm here.
Just leave it alone, right?
I got you.
When I go to like different parts of the country where, you know, they're not so familiar with the melting pot that we have here in New York, it's very different. It's like, well, what are you? Like, we don't get it. Like, you don't look black, but you don't, you know, look white. Are you mixed? I've gotten "are you mixed" a lot out of this region. Like in Detroit, it's like you have to be, you're like mixed.
Right now, I feel like if you had on a certain garb, you can pass for like Arab or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know, put on a little hijab or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
The little clappers and shit.
Habibi.
Yeah.
So you started working at labels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen? See, sometimes it seems like they just kind of jump to through their story. Like, how did you start with? It's like, it's not that easy. Like how did you end up at a label?
It's not that easy, but if you really want something, you can go get it and you can have it. And I think that when I decided that I wanted to be in this industry, you know, I just didn't stop. I went after that. I saw an ad in I think it was the Village Voice, and I went and interned at BMG Distribution, and then I interned at Profile Records. You know, so like I was bouncing around trying to figure out what is it that I want to do. You know, and I think when I started to write and find my passion, I knew like, okay, this is it right here, because I'm good at it, and I'm able to express myself, which I've always been a storyteller and a creative. And that's why I think I've been able to transition, you know, in my career. So no matter where I've been, whether it's The Source, whether it's going to BET, working at a network, whether it's digital, global grind, like, or whether it's producing television in the reality space right now, everything involves a particular skill. And that skill is being able to tell a story. So that's what I've come into you know, as I've come into my career, I've understood about myself now. So I might be doing something else in 2 years, but it's going to be based in storytelling. And I think that that also speaks to the lawyer in me, because a lot of lawyers get up there and that's what they do in trial. They tell stories. So that's the commonality I've found in everything that I do.
I feel like you would want to see this comment. Thank you. Without our eyes. It says, Kim, you are light emanating from the infinite continuity of consciousness. Whoa. That seems like something you might.
I am moved by that comment.
I felt like you
But
would.
And they tipped you $5.
Are there negative comments? Put those through too. Let's go. I got a pen and a pad.
I don't see any negative comments. Everybody's saying that you're beautiful and your braids look great and yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Stuff like that. Digga, can I give her the or is the beauty harp just reserved for you?
Oh no. I told her, I said she got tipped $5.
Okay. Hang on, we're gonna give her the that's for the braid.
Magical. Magical.
Got her beauty harp earlier today in the show.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, so boom. You finally get to your pinnacle, which in your mind at that time is the source, yes?
Yes.
That was the hip hop
Bible.
And at one point, you know, and I can vouch for that. And as somebody, I mean, you weren't there when we got our 5 months.
No.
That was pre.
That was before my time. You know how young I am.
But I'm almost sure that you would agree with that. And
okay, so everyone is always asking me about like my favorite hip hop songs, and I can never pick one. I always go back. But I will say that Love Me or Leave Me Alone is on my top 10 list. I love that song. I always say it. Wow. I always talk about that's one of the records that's like on my top 10.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
See that? I mean, I got some more like, I'm not going to go into my top 10, but I have some.
You could if you want that. I'm sure people would want to hear it.
We always got to do the top 10 or the top 5 or the top. But you want to hear more of my favorite records?
Sure, if that's where you want to take us right now.
You don't really care. Oh, that's so
sweet. Yeah. Mario's top records. That's a whole segment right there. Let's go.
I know but it does show my age, and I just finished trying to front like, you know, I was that young.
First of all, you said the source, girl. You already tipped your hand.
With the hip hop Bible and all of that, meaning you know the original
the cat's out the bag.
Moniker of the shit.
You work for the source. You over here with us, baby.
Okay, wait. So I said what? Houdini, One Love.
All right.
Oh, yes.
Slick Rick, Hey Young World.
Okay.
What else is in my top 10? What else?
And I'm seeing a theme already here, but go ahead.
What's the theme? Love? Not
just love, but like, to me, like as a DJ, these would be songs that I would think females would like.
Okay, well then let me switch it up on you.
No, you ain't gotta do that because I said that.
Fuck the police.
No. Who Shot Ya?
Yeah.
Okay, let me switch it up on you real quick.
But you know you love One More Chance too.
No, but I love Who Shot Ya more.
Okay.
I also love Time's Up. Another classic.
Okay.
See, it's like, you know, it's diverse.
Okay.
That's my background. It's a diverse, you know, it's not just the girl records.
I think I fucked up though by saying that. If I would have let you keep going without saying that, you probably would have been like, LL, I need love.
Around the way, girl.
No. My philosophy.
Around the way, girl.
No. No, I should have started with my Who Shot Ya.
Okay, wait, hang on.
Started with my Who Shot Ya.
Time's Up. What's the next one?
I said My Philosophy.
Oh, my philosophy.
All right.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
one.
Well, let me tell you a little story about my philosophy, right?
Oh, I would love to hear that.
So somehow, if you really break it down and listen to it, Punk's Jump Up comes out of that song.
Ah.
It does.
So my man Sincere is the one that came up with Punks Jump Up to get beat down. Like he just said that one day. And we was like, and we just loved it. And we was like, and then fine, he was like, you know where I got that from? KRS. I was like, where? Yeah. At the end, he says, when some clown jumps up
to get beat down, broken down to our very last compound.
But hold up, there's also another part in the beginning where he says, when some punk jumps up into attack one or some shit like that. And I think Sincere just kind of two together and came up with Punks Jump Up to get beat down.
Nice.
Isn't it ill how, like, you know, man begets man, like steel sharpens steel. Like you would never know sometimes where certain things come out of. But yeah, that's where the punk hook came out of my philosophy.
I love when songs
hip hop fun fact.
Yeah, hip hop fun fact. Yeah,
I love when songs are merged out of another song. Like Michael Jackson, Daryl Hall and Hall & Oates, they had an interview and they said Michael Jackson approached us, came up to us and said, hey, Michael said, I really want to thank you guys. You influenced me. Your No Can Do I influenced my Billie Jean beat. And they were like, what? He was like, yeah, you guys, when I listened to No Can Do I, it's one of my favorite songs. That's where I got Billie Jean from. And Hall & Oates was like, Michael Jackson is so talented that he made the song. We didn't even notice it was our beat like that, the pattern. So Michael was influenced by Hall & Oates for Billie Jean.
Dope.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can see that.
When you think about it, you're like, oh, yeah, dude. It was like, what? Dope. Dope.
Okay. We've heard some of your favorite records. You got any more that you
Did I say a Wu-Tang record yet?
I don't know.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, I don't think I heard a Wu-Tang record. No.
Favorite rap group.
Let's go.
Cream.
What? Which one?
Cream.
Okay.
Cream.
And Brooklyn Zoo by ODB.
Ooh, all right.
Okay.
Name of you.
Well,
and
you got,
let's see what else. And
there's thousands.
The whole Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders. The whole album.
Yeah. All right.
The whole album.
The whole album.
Yeah, that's just fantastic.
Okay.
Man.
All right.
Man.
Yeah, those are some of my favorite cuts. So people, whenever I get on these interviews, people always ask me and I never have an answer. I'm like, I don't want to pick one.
Because everybody's so awesome. I mean, everybody was so talented. All the songs are great. You got Raw Digga, Lord, their music's dope. Everybody's just great.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that, of our era.
Yeah. But I can't pick just one era. When people say top 5, I have different ones of different eras.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because there were top 5s of different eras.
Yeah.
You can't, it's not going to be top 5 of all time.
That's just dumb. It's just dumb.
It's hard to do that.
But I've definitely decided, like, after a certain year, I'm like, don't even ask me. I don't have it. Sorry. I'll just ask my kids, you know.
Right. Yeah. Don't start asking me about the little babies.
I can't. Yeah.
Oh, man. So many little.
But it's just not for me.
Right.
That shit's horrible. Go ahead.
There's some good ones. You just gotta,
listen, I've heard
just
some
gotta
good
tap
ones where
in.
I go, okay, I like that, but most of it is trash.
I think the fun comes from finding the artists that are cut from your cloth.
Yeah.
Like I have fun looking for the 19-20-year-old Rod Digga. Thing, shit like that.
That's cool. Awesome.
Listen, if you're just joining us, we're here with our guest Kim Osorio, writer, journalist, showrunner. You were on a reality show at one point.
I did. I was in front of the camera. It was fun. You know, a lot of people told me don't do it. Like, don't do it. Oh my God, you're gonna ruin your career. I was like, how?
Yeah. Depends on how you parlay it.
Right, because I'm going to let people see who I am. I hope that won't ruin my career, and if it does, maybe I shouldn't have one. I don't know, so I did it, and it was, an experience, and I think it actually helped me with what I do today, because when I work with talent and cast on set, I can understand. I've actually had cast members who don't know I've done a show before, and they're like, "You don't know what it's like to be in front of this camera." Like, actually, I do.
Actually, I do. Just stop crying.
Right.
How was that experience? How
Someone
many,
actually said that.
how many seasons did y'all do?
Yes.
Narcissism. Shut up.
You know what it's like?
How many seasons did y'all do of that?
Of Gossip Game 1.
Okay.
Yeah. We did pretty good in ratings, but they were like, no. There's not enough, Let me not say that. Didn't come back. I don't know.
Well, did
You
y'all
don't want to see women with jobs.
Did anybody fight or sleep with anybody's
jobs? I don't think that's very interesting.
Because well, as a storyteller, Kim, you know that all stories require conflict.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a conflict, like
have a story, basically.
You don't have a story. You don't have anything. You want to see the character go from A to B, that transformational arc and all that type of stuff. So where was the conflict in y'all's show?
Well, there was in our show, there was conflict between a couple of the girls on the show. So you had Hot 97 versus Power 105, which I feel like was very New York driven.
Right.
And then you had the blogger versus the journalist.
I'm
right?
starting to remember some of this. I saw a couple of episodes of this. Okay.
Right. And so I think that was the conflict in my story. My conflict was with my ex-husband. So, and look, we was married back then and now we're not married. So, that conflict was real.
Okay.
So I think we allowed ourselves to be vulnerable, but, because we all had careers, there was just a level that we were going to take it to and not beyond that. And I don't know that that's the reason why it didn't come back. It was also, a lot of politics, I think, behind the scenes. So, we didn't get a second season, and everybody went on to do that. Talking about that show actually makes me a little emotional because I don't know if you guys are aware that Jazz Fly, who was a writer who was featured on the show, and that's when that show was where we connected. Like, I knew Jazz before we did that show, but
I'm not familiar. This sounds familiar. Who is?
She passed away, right?
Yeah, earlier this year. So that's why, when I talk about 2020 and things that have happened, and that was also something that I think hit a lot of us in our profession really hard, because a lot of us who knew Jazz were really close and were really happy about just where she had gone in her career, because she had transitioned into television on the scripted side and was writing for a lot of mainstream shows. But there was also, just a struggle that she was going through within herself. So, that was a tough time. So whenever I think of the show, I have great memories from the show, but because her death is so recent, it still kind of triggers me a little bit. Just because we really met her, I think, in our community on that show.
Word. And she did a great writing job with This Is Us. I don't watch This Is Us, but I was actually led to it because of the storyline was so great.
Yeah.
So great
He
job.
did a couple of really great shows. I think when she transitioned into scripted, and but it was tough for her because she was coming up. She was a writer. When you start to transition, especially from what we do into television is brutal. I come from the source where it was we were a team, we stuck together. We were like a family at the source. And with my career now, it's you go from show to show. So, you get contracted from one show. I'm doing a show now. I'm doing Growing Up Hip Hop now. Last time I did Love and Hip Hop season 10. So you're moving within teams, and it's just a tough, I think, career to have, because every time you go into a new show, you're going into a whole new environment, a new way that they work, new people, and it's mean. It's mean in a TV room, and I say that when I reference Jazz because I know some of the struggles she had in those writers' rooms. You know, some of those rooms she was the only Black writer.
That's what I was waiting for this
Right.
to say that.
Yeah, and so and there's so there's been a lot of coverage on that, like it's out there, like a few of us have talked about it, but she did her thing, she shined, and she went, she was still kind of climbing in that world when unfortunately she took her life.
Oh.
Let me ask you, Kim, since we're talking about struggles that Jazz had and like that world being brutal, like for you, even for myself as a woman in this business, and I know you've publicly addressed some of the issues that you've had with your counterparts over at the Source, but how hard was it for you to just coexist in that space and stand your ground and do your job? What were some of the struggles, like the day-to-day struggles you were dealing with?
I mean, I talked a lot about the day-to-day struggles in my book, and I talked a lot about it. Obviously, when I filed the case back then, I think being so young in that position really contributed to me struggling. I feel much more confident as a woman now in my career, and I feel okay to be a woman, right? I think back when I was at the Source, it was such a male-dominated place, I didn't feel like it was just okay to have a female perspective. I always thought like I think like a guy, and people would say you write like a dude, and I'm like, great. Some people say to me this day, you act like a dude. I'm like, what does that mean? Because I have a certain amount of authority in my voice when I talk, or confidence. You gotta pull back for some people because it can be threatening, or some people have told me I'm intimidating. I'm like, I'm not intimidating. I'm such a cool person. But people have said that to me just because I have felt the need, I think, in my career to always have to fight to get respect. And, I know I had a conversation with a few of my colleagues who've told me, back in the 90s when they were coming up, they felt like they had to dress a certain way. Like they felt like they had to wear baggy clothes just to get respect, so they wouldn't be, treated a certain way. So it's something that I feel like we've dealt with. I think as I've, become more mature in my career, and as a woman, I've become more comfortable with it, being able to tell, younger women out there when they come to me and ask me questions like, I don't think it's okay I like this guy, but I don't want to date him, because I'm like, what does that have to do with your career? Why are you even meshing the two worlds? And so I have become comfortable in it when I was not comfortable before, just because, when you're young and you're coming up, you can be made to feel like, just being a woman, having a female perspective, or doing things that girls do, that you can't, get respect or get to a certain level in your career because of it.
Word.
I mean, so you were at the Source. It was your dream job. You had your things going on, but then it came to a point where you ended up filing a suit, yes, against the Source for all kinds of things that were going on on the workplace. I think you said some of the things that people were watching porn. And
I shouldn't laugh. This is a serious thing.
Like, like people watching porn.
Wait, which one?
On the job? Like,
listen, let me say this.
Who does that?
Let me say this.
Hey, there are people wanking off at their job. So
hey, that CNN guy just got kicked off.
I'm saying.
Let me say this, because I don't mean to laugh, right? But I think it's all about how it makes a woman feel, right? So like, you can be in an office and someone can be watching porn and y'all can all be cool and comfortable with it. And then there's nothing wrong. But the minute someone says that they feel uncomfortable about a situation, no matter what it is, then you have to stop. And that was the issue that I had. And I think that having the background and going to law school, understanding employment law and employment discrimination law, there were a lot of things that happened that I felt like this isn't right, you know, and if I say this makes me feel a certain way, that should be respected. And I think that, you know, when I spoke up about it, and I wasn't expecting to be let go, and I was fired, and you know, that was my family. Look, and just so you guys know, I've talked to Benzino recently about, not about this stuff, but just like about other things, and just to, it was a long time ago, and we all got through it, and it is what it is. And so I don't really like to attack anyone or say anything negative about, because that was a situation we went through, we got through it, and the outcome was what it was. And it was something that at the time I don't think a lot of people understood. And you know, to see like movements like the Me Too movements come way later and feel like, wow, well, when I filed my case, everybody was like, that's just what happens in the industry. This is okay. Like, you know, the legal team for The Source at the time was like, but you listen to this type of record, so how could you be offended? And I'm like, I'm offended because I thought my job depended on, you know, me being okay with certain things. I wasn't. And it was about control, and it was about, you know, a lot more than just, okay, this environment is a certain way. You know, it was about feeling like I wasn't being treated the way that men were being treated, you know, and I spoke up about it. I said it. And they know how I felt. Like some people don't agree, you know, with what I did, but I felt like it was illegal. So, and the court found that certain claims, you know, they found in my favor. So it was retaliation and defamation that I won on.
Right. Ultimately, they found that they felt you weren't sexually harassed. But they did award you $7.5 million.
And I didn't get that money. So let's not, because people be like, you a millionaire. I'm like, I did not get that money.
Really?
I speak about.
You did not get that money. Let's talk about that.
I cannot speak about what I may have or may have not gotten.
Okay.
You know, as a result of, you know, because The Source filed bankruptcy not too long after that judgment. So, you know, a lot of people don't know that. They're just like, oh, you awarded this money. That was the judgment, but now you have to go get the money. And if the company files bankruptcy, now you're dealing with. So there was, you know, I think I can say it now that we settled out of court. Okay. After the verdict. But when the verdict came down, right, that was a federal case. So in order to take a court to a case like that, it was Title VII, I believe, you got to go through the EEOC. And you have to, and we filed in federal court. But in federal court, you need a unanimous jury to be victorious on those claims. So the jury was, from what I can remember, this was so long ago, the jury was not unanimous on the claims of harassment, because you need repeated offensive. And a lot of people don't understand the law. They're like, oh, well, the court said you didn't get sexually harassed. You need repeated offensive of a certain behavior, right? The hostile work environment claim, like there's a lot of legal stuff. You guys know what this is. Like when it comes down to the law, something can happen, but at the end of the day, it comes down to what the lawyers are saying, what the evidence is that you have, what the case law says. And, you know, even in the
it's not about guilt or innocence. It's about what you can prove.
Yeah, and so it was a tough, I think, thing. But I think what they did agree on as a jury was, oh no, she was retaliated against, and she was fired because she complained about this, and she was defamed because it's clear right here that he said these things about her that are.
Okay,
that's a mouthful, right? It's a lot.
So hang on. You've mentioned a few times about being a lawyer. When did that happen?
Because I went to law school, but I never passed the bar. I never. So people are like, well, are you a lawyer or are you not a lawyer? I'm like, well, you know, when you graduate law school, sometimes they just call you a lawyer. an attorney, I think you have to be barred and licensed. So I can't. I never go out there and claim it. But you know, everybody that knows me, they know that my understanding of the law and the process is beyond, you know, just the average person because I went to law school. So in that respect, I think when we talk about the claims that I filed and, you know, the reason for, it's because I knew things about the law that just, I knew that you can't do this in a workplace. And I think people caught up to that later with the, you know, with me too.
Right.
If you're just joining us, we have Kim Osorio, formerly of The Source, you know, law student.
Graduate.
What's that?
No, graduated. She's not a student. She graduated.
Well, a student of law, you know.
Which law school?
I went to New York Law School downtown.
What kind of law did you want to practice?
I back then I wanted to do entertainment. I wanted to do entertainment.
From watching Law and Order, or?
Nah, because I wanted to be in the entertainment space. But
okay.
I was already in it. Nowadays, my passion would probably, you know, be more in criminal law and trial law.
Okay. Because when you watch like Law and Order, and my attorney friends be like, yo, I said, but it's a TV show, dude. Mm-hmm. You have to have an ending and you know what I mean? So is there any truth to the way those things happen in court cases where they go,
hell
you were at 3 a.m. Where were you?
The defendant, he's like, all right, I did it. Like, no, you know, it's funny when they get their suspect at like 2:23, like, nah, because we still got 30, we got 37 minutes left. Hang on. Around 2:54, it's gonna come to surface.
You know, it's fun to bring up Law and Order. I just had a conversation with someone really close to me, and I was yelling at this person, and I said, "Have you never watched an episode of Law and Order?" Have you never? That's what I said. I said, "You never watched Law and Order? You don't do that.
You dumbass." And then you gotta follow it with "you dumbass."
If Ice-T is the cop, it's not true.
Hey, real quick, could you please not put my man Artie Stacks on timeout? My man Artie Stacks is an executive producer to this show.
Artie, I hung out with Artie,
and he just got put on timeout. Free
Artie Stacks. That's funny.
Stop doing that.
Free Artie Stacks.
We have a new mod. Maybe she's not familiar. I don't know what Stacks said to get put on.
Free Artie Stacks.
But we have a new.
Artie Stacks is what Chinese.
We have a new mod, and I think she out here in these streets trying to prove herself. And yes, please don't do that, please, to Artie Stacks. Okay,
free Artie Stacks.
Or whenever his timeout is over, just don't put him back in jail, please. Thank you. Okay, so who's your ex-husband? You mentioned your ex-husband. Who's your ex-husband?
She thinks I'm bringing him up.
We want to mention him.
Look, you see that face? You see that? Like,
You know him?
Fucking Jamar.
I'm asking the question.
She like, thank you, no.
Jamar's like, so
I'll find out.
Who's your
soul?
Nobody worth mentioning.
She said nobody. Oh, he had one of those type of divorces. All right,
listen,
we'll move on.
It was a rough divorce. It's still a rough situation. So
it's still raw. It's still raw.
Listen, I wouldn't think it was raw after 3 years, but you know,
some people keep
the. Kim is single, yo. Kim, what's up?
Listen, I'm not even concerned about that. After you go, divorce is something serious. When you go through a divorce,
yes, it is.
I heard it's a nasty.
Oh, that was probably the toughest time in my life.
Paying money to get away from a motherfucker, that's serious.
Damn.
Divorce is serious, you know, and especially when there's children involved. So you can't completely just cut ties, and you know, it would be nice to say we're going to be cordial for the kids, and we're going to, you know, I don't know, do what's right for that. What's the next subject?
Hip hop.
We want to know about hip hop.
Listen, I will say this as a therapy exercise, and I have not said this publicly. Like, I wrote 100,000 words about what I went through during the quarantine. So when I say that, time was a time to self-reflect and to, really kind of re-examine life, for me, it sat me down. I was able to express myself on paper and get a lot out that I think I needed to get out. So
what I want to ask you was, at your time at the Source, what is like your fondest hip hop memory? Like what's some shit that you saw or experienced that made you feel like, man, I don't give a fuck, all of this shit was worth it because I got to do this, or I got to see this. You understand? Like, anything like that happen?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us who came, up at the Source back then, I think have those memories. And we always say it was the best job. It was the best job to have. It was the best job I've had in my career. I'm trying to think, right? So many things happened. Like, I can remember vividly moments like when Jeezy played the Blueprint album for us at the Source, right? It was like the first time I think he was playing it for press. We used to get exclusive listening sessions. So, I know our team, there was a 5-mic album at the time, and our team like went up to listen to it, and he's playing it there so there were moments
he was playing it personally for y'all.
Yeah, like he played it personally for the Source to hear. And I remember the moment he played The Takeover and stopped it and didn't let us hear like all 3 verses. He didn't let us hear the last verse.
Right.
It was like, because he knew we were the Source. So you can't let us hear that. That's too quick. It's gonna be out in a minute. Remember when things didn't get out so quickly? We had a month to write about it. We had a month to think about it. We had a month to fact check it, to make sure we weren't just Twitter fingers coming, like blah, 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 and just putting things out there. Because we would think about the consequences with the responsibility that we had as journalists to make sure we're not, doing certain things. So that, I think, I can remember back then. I can remember Kanye, right? I can remember College Dropout, hearing that album for the first time, and just what that reaction was, and what we were doing at the Source, with music that people hadn't heard yet, and with artists that a lot of people at the time wouldn't have said, this is that next person, or wouldn't have taken that leap and put their, put their stamp on it. I think we gave Kanye the first cover. So that he got, what I'm saying? So there were moments where we were able to forecast what was going to happen. And I think that was my favorite part of being at the Source, because we were looking ahead, and we were the tastemakers of the culture. We were able to say, we know that this is going to be the next thing.
Total sidebar. I felt some type of way about my 3.5 mics for Dirty Harriet. I was like, I'm like, man, how the fuck?
Hold on, was that the editor?
Like, how the fuck I ain't get these other bitches don't write their own shit. Come on.
Wait, was that the editor? I'm not going to go down if I wasn't the editor.
You know what? That's a good question. I'm not sure if that was on your watch, but I was definitely feeling some type of way.
Who determines the mic? That's another thing. Who determines that? Was it a group of people? Who was the head of the judging of albums and of mic awards and stuff like that?
I mean, back then there was a committee. So we had the 5-mic committee, and I think it had to be like 7 or 8 people. We made sure we had like a West Coast rep, a Southern correspondent. Like, we tried to really balance it out with different musical styles, knowing that people had different backgrounds, and it was part of the music department. So in addition to that, we would have like whoever was writing the review would get a vote as well. But a lot of times artists assumed that people who were writing the reviews were actually giving the mics out. So, I mean, I had an issue before I even worked at the Source where I did a review on Mace's second album. And it got a really low rating, at least. I mean, 2.5 used to mean average. So even when Digga said, I'm not feeling my 3.5.
That was higher than, yeah.
Translation of a 3.5 was like,
pretty good.
It was good, right?
Yeah, no, you definitely no. Y'all had nothing but positive things to say. You had nothing but great things to say.
Three was probably like solid or something like that.
So why did they give her 3.5?
5 was a classic. 4.5 was like maybe great.
Like you, yeah, like
yeah. So I think that, you know, but if you got below a 3, that was considered during my time at least like that's you're telling me basically my shit is whack, even though whack was really like one mic. And nobody, you know, it got political, I think, where
I've seen half mics before, right? Wasn't there a half mic?
Yeah, it was definitely half mic.
Half mic?
Did you ever turn off the mic?
1.5, 2, 2.5. Like it was
just
definitely
a half a mic. Like this is
oh, like just the half.
Just a half of a mic.
Just a half.
I feel like I might have seen that before. No,
I don't remember if
somebody just got a 0.5, got 0.5.
Damn.
Below whack.
Damn.
Totally whack. Like
whacker than whack. Oof. Yeah, like I don't remember.
Like the kick in the snare. That was it.
Yeah, so you know, people.
Now, I remember one of my people's got a 2 before. We was all crying like it's gonna be all right. It's like that's how much the Source mics meant to the culture back then.
But then at some point it changed.
Yeah.
Then at some point, and I'm trying to, I don't know, maybe you can help me pinpoint. Because I remember, like, especially before you got there, I remember when the Source was, you know, not even glossy, when it was like a real, like, paper, like a newspaper type of shit. I'm showing my age, right? So.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I thought it was on mute.
I'm like, what the hell? Okay, anyway. So, but I remember when I first read the Source, I was like, yo, like this is the first magazine that I feel like they're telling the truth. Like they're telling the truth. Like this is some shit that's some bullshit, and they said it was some bullshit. This is some dope shit, and they saying it. Like these are people that really understand hip hop. And the mics felt like they meant something for a minute because it felt like the rating system was authentic. Just it felt authentic. At some point, I don't know what happened, but you started to see like, wait a minute, like how the fuck that get that kind of rating? And that's obviously some bullshit, but they obviously got it because that was like the commercial thing at the time, or maybe somebody got pieced some money. And like, when did it all go wrong in your opinion at the Source?
Not under my watch.
Not under my watch.
Dare I say somebody else? No, but like I think
who came in after you?
Who was the editor after me? Remember, I went back. So like,
right.
So what were the actual the physical years that you were there from when to when?
I started writing in 98. But I got my job there in 2000 till 2005. And then I went back, I think it was 2011 to 2012.
Oh, my album came out in 2000.
Uh-oh.
But I was
like
you said, well, I was a writer. I didn't.
I'm just messing with you. They ain't about shit.
But how did the Source Awards get so like disorganized? Remember, there would be fights, and I was like, oh, we got a Source Awards, and it'd just be fight. You remember the famous I think it was that Suge Knight saying,
95.
I ain't one of those producers
I
be
was
on the
there.
videos.
I have had, you were there, so you can help, because I was not there. I wasn't at the source at the time. I think I was still in school, but that I have heard stories about that night from different people who sat on different sides of the room. I love those stories because the one thing that everyone says is that it was the most tense night in hip hop that they've ever been a part of.
Wow.
So one day I'm gonna make the movie about that night. I just gave away. That's gonna steal my idea.
Okay.
Well, let me go on the record and shoot y'all some bell, because I personally always felt like out of all the award shows, and we're talking all of the BET Awards, this one, that one, I personally always felt that the Source Awards got it right as far as the categories, like from the nominees to who you guys picked to win, the particular type of categories. Like, I felt like you guys actually got it.
I mean, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I feel like, a lot of us who came up through the Source, we were part of the culture. So there was a difference, right, I think, in how we, reported and put our committees together and voted. We took it so seriously, Right. I mean, there were like meetings for hours. We would argue stuff out. There are a lot of great memories, I think, of our time at the Source.
And Flip Mode got Best New Group when our album came out. And No, I'm gonna tell you when people started looking at the Source sideways, but it didn't come till later. But I feel like did Benzino give himself 5 mics? I gonna say he gave himself 5 mics. Somebody gave Benzino 5 mics. I think that's what everybody, and shouts out to Benzino because that is the homie. But I feel like that was the point when everybody started being like, oh, word.
Listen, I don't remember him giving himself 5 mics. I think there was a big walkout before I got to the Source when the Made Men got like 4.5 mics, his group. And that was before I got
something like that. It was something like that. All right.
And so the staff walked out. They have a lot of stories about that, that situation. That's like the original Source Mind Squad. Like the original team. And I guess, they all bumped heads over that review. But
wait, Jamar,
a lot of great ratings even after that. Like, when we talk about Blueprint or Stillmatic, or these are our albums that came in after 2000, right? Like The Fix, like there were 5 mic albums after that. And even more albums, I can't speak, in the 90s, like after that big walkout. So I think there were moments where ratings were questioned like that.
Wait, Jamar, I just caught a glimpse of something going on in the comments. Are moderators beefing? I think our moderators are beefing.
Hey. Reality 914 is not only a moderator, okay? That's my physical brother. Okay.
The moderators are beefing.
Like, come on, yo. Like whatever's going on.
What is happening in the
like I don't fucking know. Like, I don't have time to look at that type.
What's happening in the control room right now?
Yo, come on, don't make me regret now. Christio, don't get too aggressive now. Like, you gotta chill. Like, there's a hierarchy to this thing.
Peace, reality.
Okay?
I got my battery charger. It's going down. It's so unprofessional.
It's number one.
It happens. Don't worry. I'm over here flicking the ceiling fan on and off over here, flashing and shit.
Reality senior moderator.
Total sidebar. Do I have a list for anything like that? I have my Invisalign on. I'm trying to like talk through it.
No, you're good.
Oh,
okay.
You just told on yourself. Hang on. Let's give you a solo. Smile on the Invisalign.
All right now.
We're in the age of transparency. Fuck it.
We got transparent braces on.
Thank God Invisalign is transparent.
So, reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
Talked a little bit about it, but how'd you get into that world, and what do you think about it? A lot of people look at it as like a cesspool of culture, you know. What do you try to bring anything of value to these shows that you produce?
Absolutely. I when I left, the way I got into it, to answer the first part, is when I left the Source, my first job was at BET. So I worked in the digital department, but I worked a lot, I learned a lot about television. I worked a lot with the network, and I was producing more short form content than anything else. When I left BET, I worked with Global Grind. So I was doing a lot of producing for online and for digital. But then how did I go into reality? I was also scripting. So I started scripting the Love and Hip Hop reunion shows. So I took that gig, right, with VH1 and Monami and Eastern at the time, which is the production company that used to do Love and Hip Hop. And from there, I just realized that I always wanted to get into scripted television, right? But reality, the door opened up quicker. And I started getting into episodic TV. And again, it was about telling stories. And I think when I'm there, I try to make it my business to diversify the storytelling. So I think that's what I can add. And I think just coming from the culture and understanding hip hop, understanding the stories a little better than maybe other producers. And that's not to take anything away from a lot of the people that I've come across, but I do see my value there. And then understanding the talent and where the talent comes from, and understanding the culture and the reaction. So what we do in reality, a lot of people say, oh, it's scripted. You guys are writing this stuff. You're a writer. Like, no, we are scripting scenarios because this is no longer the day of reality where you could put a camera in someone's house and just kind of record and then edit the footage. You've got to be able to get
a direction.
Content. Yeah, right. So you script certain scenes, right? Okay, we're gonna do a scene, you know what I'm saying, with Godfrey and Digga. And she's gonna tell him that during the podcast, she doesn't like when he keeps his phone on because it disturbs the way she thinks, right? So like that's the scenario. And then you guys go, and you give your own feelings on that. A lot of the scenarios come out of what we consider to be insight. And that's from conversations. That's why you're meeting with producers when you sign up to do a reality show, because we never want to put things out there where people feel like they're acting or they're not giving really who they are. Sometimes what happens is people get in front of the camera, they try to be something that they're not. And then you learn quickly as the storyline continues that you can't keep that up. I always tell cast, if you're real about your feelings on a situation, then you don't have to worry about it during the next scene and think like, what did I say last time? Because those will be your real feelings. So you'll stay true to who you are. And I think those are the cast members that do the best on reality TV.
Well, I feel like if Digga and I were on a show together, like you wouldn't even have to script nothing. Just turn the cameras on and let us go. You don't even have to say he's upset about this. Just let us start talking. You're gonna catch some good shit. Trust me.
Our behind the scenes are insane.
You go, what?
Our pregame conversations, like
people think that we have heated conversations on the show. But yes, our pregame or in the car on the way when I used to pick her up and when we were shooting in Brooklyn and driving from Jersey to Brooklyn.
But
I don't think people realize. Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't think people realize by the time we actually go to shoot, we're already calm and we've talked it out
at each other.
Yeah, like before that, it's like we go. I know Jamar hates when the phone rings and I call him like, I was thinking. I know as soon as he hears I was thinking, he's like, oh boy.
I might not have the energy because
let me roll my blunt now. She about to wear me the fuck out.
Yeah, she's gonna physically drain me, and then by the time we get to do the real show, I'm so emotionally spent that it's like, all right, whatever you say.
No, we've gotten better though.
Yeah, but I think with reality, right, it takes a certain amount of producing because just like any, episodic TV show, reality is like the modern day soap opera. I don't even know if they still have the soap opera.
Absolutely.
So you're tuned in, but you want to come back next week. So there's a cliffhanger, right? Like you want to see, and so you have to tie those stories together in a way that, pulls people back and is interesting, compelling, has conflict, and, people tune in to see what's happening next. So,
yeah, I had a small stint, that I didn't want to be involved.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Money back, right?
Huh? Yeah. And I ended up writing, the parts for my wife. I basically wrote her storyline for her because the show was just boring, And I knew the science of conflict and all that type of shit. And then they begged me, whatever. But, I'm glad it didn't go nowhere because, that's not really some shit I want to be involved in on that side of it. You know what I mean? Now, the side that you're on, that's a good side to be on. And I would fuck with that. Have you ever did anything in the documentary field?
I feel like I have, but I guess I would know if I did. I've been working on a lot of things behind the scenes, and I think that that's the next space that I'd like to get into.
Okay.
So, just in terms of pitching and developing ideas, a lot of times they don't see the light of day because they never reach that, next stage. But I think the experience of being able to work on things and being able to understand how to get something done is a part of the journey. So there's nothing on my credits right now. Like I think the first thing that will probably see the light of day is the Tale of the Tape. It's a mixtape documentary that I did with a friend of mine, Malik Buie, who's a director and producer that works a lot, with a lot of different production companies. But we this is something that's been in the work for years, but you know how it is in terms of getting funding and trying to turn things around. So like that's the first documentary style project I think that will get out there. And it's something that I hope, people see and are interested in, because I don't think that those stories have been told just on what mixtapes are and where they originated and what they've become. Because a whole different game now. I mean, definitely some cultural, very, very hip hop stuff, but stuff that I think I've been extremely passionate about just in my career.
Well, I have an idea for a documentary that I would like to talk to you about behind the scenes. Yeah. And it was very dope. And you might be the perfect one to help make that shit happen.
Yeah, totally. We just actually, I hate to talk, I don't want to announce things, but like we just actually closed the deal for the documentary that I'm working on. He's gonna kill me for saying this, but
don't say it. Oh, I like it. Don't say it.
I mean, look.
She's already said it. Go ahead.
I said it.
Finish it out.
But so that's why when you ask, are there any like documentaries that you're working on?
Right.
These are things that are doing. They haven't been officially announced, but you guys are like friends to the room.
Come on,
so like we could share information.
Of course we can.
But
you're supposed to say somebody that I work with very closely. I'll be documenting their lives. Come on, man. If you was the star of the show, you'd be like, oh well, I die in the 5th scene.
I know.
Like, do that.
Nigga said, don't give it up. But you know what? It's something that I think.
Where do your allegiances lie?
He didn't announce it when he was
your mouth.
Oh, my bad. I my bad. I'm supposed to be over here getting it out of you. Okay, I'm sorry.
Right.
All right.
So that's
we're gonna learn you the game.
I'll leave that to him to talk about. But again, it's following someone who has had an amazing journey, just not just within his career, but within his life, right?
Yeah,
and I think that I'll let him talk more about it. I'm shutting up, Digga, but that's something that you've also been working on. You know, so there's a lot of things that I think are coming down the pipe. I just have to, you know, finish them. That's my problem. I'm a Gemini.
Oh
God.
So you're crazy.
Two-Face.
You're crazy. You got this.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm finding myself surrounded by more and more Geminis in my later years, and I gotta say, you guys are a mixed bag of fucking nuts.
it's like always, you're always thinking about 100 things at the same time.
And the dichotomy, you just hot, cold, just instant.
I manage my Gemini very well, though, I would say. I do.
Okay.
I do. I control that other side. You know, I know when it's coming. I can feel things physically. I think as I've grown older, I've realized when I'm really upset, so I pull myself out of situations. I'm like, your mouth is dry. You're really upset. You need to just go away. You know, like you ever had like arguments and you're just like frustrated?
Oh yeah. You start foaming at the mouth like
You're like, right. So now I recognize it. It's like, wait a minute, remove yourself, you know? So you start to learn things about yourself. So I think I manage my Gemini very well.
I got a question for you, Kim. With everything that you've done and you've been working so closely with the hip hop community for decades, is there anything that you feel like you haven't done that you say to yourself, yo, before this life is over, I got to do this?
Definitely. And that is in the scripted space. So I think maybe about 8 years ago, I started really writing scripts and I just kind of went crazy with it. And they're all on my computer. And there's a few of them that, you know, also someone once said to me, and this was part of my Gemini, like, oh, I understand who you are. You're the type of person that needs me to rip your computer away from you and send it myself because I'm never finished with anything. You know, I'm never finished. I'm always like, I can make it better. It's not good enough, you know. So, you know, when it comes to creating things and writing, I tend to hold on to things. So one of those scripts for sure is, I think, what my focus is in terms of my career and getting them to see the light of day on TV and in, you know, film.
Now, when you write it, when you attempt to write a script, right? Do you write with almost like a director's eye? Like, will you give like shot direction in your writing, or you just write the words and went over that and let them interpret it later?
I write the words and, you know, give to the director to do that. I mean, occasionally I've come up with things where I've, you know, kind of, you know, written how I would like to see it visually or how I want the shot. But I think in just learning how even directors work, because I would love to direct something someday, but I don't think I'm qualified to do that. Like I know what my strengths are. And when I work with directors that I respect, I see how they take things that I write and really bring them to life visually. And so I would rather have my baby, my project, right? Write it the way I want it and give it to someone that can really, you know, make it a lot better than what I think I can.
But don't you see it in your head a certain way? You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, you know,
I do. That's when I think there are some things that I'll like, you know, specify, like, oh, I want to see it this way. But for me, I like to collaborate. So a lot of times I work with so many creatives that I enjoy that process also. Like I enjoy people coming in and lending their talents and making it better than what I've thought of, you know? So I think that I always want to be able to be, and that's something else I've learned just in TV. Like I want to be flexible. you don't get nowhere if you say, okay, this is, how I see it and what I want, because there's a team of people that put things together. So it's really, in any job that you have, I think it's about learning how to work with people. Like people skills is, I've never hired anyone that I did not like their personality unless I didn't know. And then I found out who they really were later. But just in terms of working with people, I think that's something that, and I try to explain this to my daughter even, she's in college. I'm like, no one's going to hire you because you come out with this. They're going to hire you if they like you. That's how it works, right? So that is a very important skill, right? They don't teach you how to be nice in school.
Right.
And when you go into a job interview, they don't teach you. Like when you go in there, you got to be someone that people say, you know what, I think I want to work with that person.
Manners, home training,
skills.
Or even just, but sometimes it's just charisma. People have charisma that will draw people in. Like this is what makes you like certain rappers over other rappers. Like
right.
Yeah, they both can rap dope, but this guy got a certain charisma about him that just draws me in like more than the other person. And that's like you're hiring that person for the job. You see what I'm saying? So yes, sometimes it's hard to you can't really teach that sometimes that.
No.
You know what I mean? That
you have to learn how to be humble. You have to learn, like, wait a minute. You have to learn that. And then I didn't always have it. Like sometimes even, my other half, my Gemini half sometimes comes into a room and, I'm sure it can turn people off. But I know that my humble side gets me more checks. I know that. I know that.
That's a fact.
Right. The side of me that's really nice and, humble, that side gets paid more.
And trust me, that goes all across the board. Like they'll, there could be a show where like the turnout would be poor, but if if that promoter just genuinely digs you, like he'll work with you.
Exactly. And that's why I say, like, I've never hired someone, like when I call people back for jobs, especially in TV, it's always someone, you know what, I've had fun with that person. I like that person, or they were great at their job. But the actual skill of what a lot of people do, unless you're like a brain surgeon, I don't want to undermine like what we do as producers or writers. I don't want to do that. But, you can learn a lot on the job. Every job you go to is different. Every show I go to is different. It's like I got to learn how to do it all over again because everyone does it differently. So it really becomes about working with people, right? And being able to learn together. And every opportunity I go into, I always look at it now like, what can I learn from this? Okay, this is driving me crazy. Oh, what am I supposed to learn here?
Right. I think the entertainment field, period, is just a social field overall. Like it requires people liking you and being able to relate to you to be entertained by you. So it all goes hand in hand.
Absolutely. Like even especially now in the age of social media where artists are, so accessible, where there's no filter, where there's no like publicist and, they can't control, what an artist is going to say immediately.
Yeah.
Because you have that right. Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like you wake up in the morning, your favorite artist is right there with exactly what he's doing and what he wants to tell you. Nobody filtered that out.
Hey, trust me, it's gotten plenty old heads in trouble because there used to be that filter process for us. So here we come with our old our old head ideologies that clash with this new liberal world, and it's like, hey.
Yeah, and it's like some artists are smart and they have that person that they they will run their stuff by, but like, listen, I'm thinking about posting this, here it is. But then sometimes you just
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta let the chopper fly. As in the words of the great prophet Lord Jamar, sometimes you just gotta rip the Band-Aid off. I like the spoon feed. He wants to just rip the Band-Aid off.
Sometimes, because you know what I
want to put the medicine in the candy.
Sometimes you gotta be 1, 2, and you got bitch on 2 when they think it's coming on 3. You see what I'm saying? And you get through it better.
Right.
It might have hurt, but you get through it.
I got bungee jumped like that one time. I was like, we're gonna go on 3. Yeah, 1, 2. I was like, wait. He's like, 1, wait, 2.
I don't like it like that though. I don't like it done to me. I'll do it to you.
I'm like, what happened to 3?
Don't do it to me, motherfucker. We going on 3 like we agreed to. Don't you dare push me on 2.
I was 3 and down the fucking side of the bridge.
You bungee jumped, Digga?
I bungee jumped off a bridge in Croatia. It was a big bridge.
You out of your mind.
I was now skydiving, and I was like, do I want to do it? To say
That's my next.
I ain't did none of that.
That's my next flight.
None of it.
Let me know when you go. I've thought about it.
Only 2 things. Only 2 things in life left on my bucket list is skydiving and spinning the big wheel on The Price is Right. I gotta spin that fucking wheel, yo. I don't give a fuck how, yo, whatever it takes. I gotta spin that fucking wheel. Those are my 2 bucket list things.
Well, call me when you do skydiving. I might.
Yes, ma'am.
Playing with you.
Fuck spinning that wheel, but call me when you do the diving.
You gonna try it? Shit.
Fuck the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can do that on your own.
Matter of fact, yeah, it's a date. It's a date.
I've said I wanted to do it. Then I've been like, do you really need to do that?
Nope.
Let's go.
Said nope.
Let's go.
Nope. Some bullshit.
I have nothing to prove.
Me and Godfrey just gonna watch y'all. We'll come.
You got the bucket list. I got the fucking list.
The bucket list. What is on your bucket list, Godfrey?
What you say?
What is on your bucket list? I want to know what's on your bucket list.
What's on my bucket list?
Or wait. Do I want to know what's on your bucket list?
A lot of my fucking list is like creative shit, like just
okay.
I
didn't know.
Media, just doing the stuff I've always wanted to do. Just go for it. Put shit on there. Say controversial shit. Fucking list is also doing podcasts. Look at what we created with this, with Lord Jamar. You guys, my podcast. That's what the fucking list is. You know, Dame Dash said it best when the COVID first started. I was watching Dame on his thing, and he said, "Man, if you as a creative and a talent, if you ain't using this time to show your ass, you are a dummy. You better be, because Hollywood and all these, everybody's guards are down. It's open season. Everybody's getting down, and the real talented people can literally outshine, and you can outshine people, but you have to have that persistence. And you got to be in people's face. You got to go, fuck it, let's go, all out.
And we should be capitalizing on white guilt right now.
White guilt is at the meter is like
at an all-time high.
Listen, white guilt, they made Batwoman black. You know they're fucking tripping.
Baby.
Batwoman is black. Have you seen all the posters? Vogue and all the magazines.
Oh, the first black photographer shoots the cover of Vanity Fair, and
isn't that sad?
It's all type
that's
of.
How much
are they going in?
But that's how much white supremacy. How much, not to be nasty, but most white people haven't changed. They really have not progressed at all. At all. Why are we the first in 100 years? First black this. Then they made a black woman an executive in Netflix. What the fuck is this shit? What is this? This is like bullshit, you know? All this tokenism.
I want to say something about the white guilt, because I did get to a place where I couldn't do the white tears anymore.
Yeah.
And so, like, it really started to bother me. And I was on a few conference calls during the protests.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't believe the amount of white tears on the Zoom. And so, like, I'm texting my friends, like, he is not crying right now. Why? And there were a lot of white tears that week. And, I couldn't really process it. Like, I didn't understand, like, why they were crying.
I do believe I do believe a lot of it is performative for sure.
I think so. It was very like I was literally on the Zoom like.
But in the midst of them being performative, you can put their ass on the spot. You can call their bluffs.
Well, hang on. Was this camera on? Wait, was the camera?
just make.
We gotta do it again. We gotta do it. The camera.
I saw a lot
of white dudes on a Zoom call. I saw
white guilt.
And they wanted to make sure you saw that.
Yeah.
Like,
but a lot of kente cloth. A lot of kente cloth.
Kente cloth.
Kente cloth is making a killing.
But then there's no action. There's no action done. Everybody, this disparity, the gap is still wide. They cry and then, but what are you fucking doing? We don't care about that shit.
Right.
What are you doing? It's still, and now their idea of diversity is now, okay, they made the Black Bachelor for the first time black.
I know, I saw that.
The first time a black dude is a bachelor, which was hilarious. I go, they are so full of shit. You mean to tell me black dudes can't get chicks? Excuse me. Excuse me. I think we're the kings of that. And then now, we're the kings. First of all, we're the kings of that because everybody is warned not to be with black men. But then the fact that you can get girls, regardless of what your parents say, that gives you, you got skills. Okay. White dudes get in because they're just fucking white half the time. So now I don't even understand how fucking, when it's diversity, it has to be the white guy with all the ethnic people. They always go white man first with the ethnic woman. It's never like the Asian guy with a girl. It's always the white guy with the black girl, white guy with the Spanish girl, white guy. So they're full of shit, dude. You know what
my favorite thing was? Like the social media advertising.
Oh.
Right. So like when you got on Instagram or Facebook, it was like buy from these black companies. I was like, how do I know this is a black company?
Right.
What do I would go on Uber Eats and it would be like, order yourself some black food.
Oh yeah, we had I feel like all summer long, black restaurants, free delivery fee. Oh, you go to Netflix and Amazon, the Black Lives Matter collection. Like, huh?
Now they got some black news network or some like information network.
Yeah.
And Charlemagne and them was pushing this. Like one.
No, Charlemagne is actually
like that.
I think he's like a part
own little thing, but this is some black information, and they act like, wait a minute, like hold up, now we're supposed to get all the information from y'all, like
right?
This,
I totally.
And it's from a black perspective, and like whose black perspective, like
right? It's like I'm not gonna let Uber tell me like, do you want a black driver? This week we profiled these. I'm not gonna let Uber tell me where to eat. So, but I thought it was interesting how the marketing,
the pandering right now.
Hey,
let's capitalize, man.
No, capitalize.
You got capitalize.
That's how white people do it. That's just
but
it's 11:11 right now. Can you appreciate that?
Yeah.
Oh, 11:11.
Hey, knowledge.
It's a spiritual time right now. The angels are with us. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
No, I have a niece that like the whole house got to stop at 11:11.
Yeah. So the numbers, yep.
Yeah, I don't mind stopping the show at that, just for a moment at 11:11.
Yeah.
Although I understand that means. What are you getting? Getting some fuel right now?
Me?
No, I was talking to Godfrey.
What fuel?
Okay.
No, he sounded like he was listening to my voice, like he was getting more impression.
Have you seen the commercial like they did during Black Lives Matter with all the actors, the white actors, and it was in black and white, and they say it was Aaron Paul, Stan Tucci, Julianne Moore, all those really good white actors that said, I have to take responsibility. Have you seen it?
Oh no, I would love to see it.
Oh, you never seen it?
I missed that one. No, I missed that one.
You can Google, you just YouTube it, and they're like, and they turn around and go, I have to take responsibility. And then Aaron Paul's like, I have to take responsibility. Police brutality is not. And here's the problem. All of them are fantastic actors. I don't know if they're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci. I love Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
Julianne Moore. Actually, Julianne Moore, I believe, because I've been on charity stuff with her. She's a very, very, very nice woman. She does a lot of charity shit. But everybody's a great actor. So everyone's like, I have to take responsibility. And wait, it's in black and white. So it's black and white. So it's metaphoric.
Mm.
Oh, it made my ass itch. It was great.
They're like, cut. Somebody should tell me what's over at craft services. All right. Okay, and action. I have to take responsibility.
Well, listen, I think we've kept our guests.
Yeah.
I'm having
time to wrap it up. Even though we love you, Kim.
Nice meeting you there.
It was
Kim.
great catching up.
Definitely. Yeah, this was great. Great conversation. Hopefully in the future, you come on back and just drop in and kick it with us,
Thank you for having me on. Thanks, guys.
Share some of your hip hop experience and knowledge.
Absolutely.
Very valuable. And we appreciate you here.
Kim Osorio, ladies and gentlemen. Whoop, whoop.
Jazz hands.
So hang on. I know this is your IG, right? People can follow you on IG.
And you spelled my name right.
Yes. I was inclined to spell it wrong at first, but then I noticed, a Virgo is pays attention to details, and I saw that, it's a Osorio.
Osorio.
Where I thought it might have been an A or something at first.
So if you're following me, I gotta follow you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Yes.
Well, I didn't know. I don't know who'd be watching me. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot your shot, Godfrey. Shoot your shot.
You got a lot of people watching.
Oh, no, I'm not shooting. I
just playing with you, brother. You my
Come
brother.
on, now.
I know.
I've never been married, whatever. I'm just single and inconsiderate.
Well,
so
she's divorced. I'm just saying.
And she
joking.
I am humbled.
We spread love around here on the Godcast. I'm just saying, we spread love.
I love love.
We bring connections together.
Thanks again, guys. I really
thank you. And we appreciate you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Kim Osorio.
Hey.
Peace.
Peace, Queen.
Peace.